All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody. Welcome on in, NorCal Sports Network. Giants start this 10-game road trip off in the right way as they defeat the Chicago White Sox, the worst hitting team with runners in scoring position. Yes, we found a team worse than the Giants. Giants win it 3-1. Good news there, and we'll break down the game and we'll talk about it all, and we will get your comments, of course. But first, let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Chapman Law Group. Give them a call for all your legal needs. You got a personal injury situation? Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call. They will take care of you. No cost to call them. Consultation, free. And, don't settle with an insurance company before calling Chapman Law Group. 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, Lou. Giants get it done tonight with pitching. Pretty good defense. They had the little error miscue with Adames early on, but after that, pretty much. This is Giants baseball. Score a little, give up a little, stay in the game, get to your bullpen, and you got to win games like this because you're playing a team that's only won 26 games on a pace to lose 110, 111 games, which is a big improvement over last year. So, but this is a game you got to win, a series you got to win, and hopefully the Giants are setting themselves up for a sweep. Take it one game at a time. Give us your thoughts.
If they weren't playing the White Sox, they would have lost. But you know how they have terminology, sometimes games right. You win ugly. This was sort of an ugly win, starting with Adames in the first. I mean, I'm sorry, he actually had 2 errors today, but they only really counted 1. But it seemed like third inning, bases loaded. And then Michael Tucker for them hit into a double play. The fourth inning, runners at second and third, they couldn't hit a ball. I mean, it was almost as bad as the Giants in running scoring position. And, the thing I want to criticize tonight is, hey, we got the win. It's on the road. That's all positive. But I just don't understand the logic with Melvin. You could see that Roop was having problems. I don't care if he's at 50 pitches, at 80 pitches. When you have an opportunity to win, you got to go for it. And they get the lead, and then he brings Roop back in again. He already is going to be lined up for the win. He didn't have control again. Then what happens? You wind up bringing a reliever in mid-inning where a lot of the Giants aren't good mid-inning. And, it was frustrating because they got very lucky tonight, And, I mean, tonight's game, it was 3-1. But, if we would have been playing somebody else, I think we would have probably been down, a little bit worse. But, hey, a win's a win. You got to take it. But tonight was sort of an ugly one, and I'm glad we were playing the White Sox.
Yeah, definitely glad they're playing the White Sox. Like I said, this is a team that they have to beat. I'd love to see them get up and get 5-6 runs, but this is a Giants team that just doesn't have much of a lineup right now. And I mean, Bailey was able to get a triple because a misplayed ball in right field.
Yeah, the guy in right went for it.
I mean, they probably would have won 2-1. I mean, that was
what it would have probably been. Yeah,
it probably would have been 2-1. But hey, Bailey got, I believe. Let me look at the box score. I thought Bailey I saw had 2 hits tonight, if I remember my memory correctly. Let's take a look at the actual box score. By the way, the Phillies are pounding the Braves tonight, 11-0. Cincinnati, we almost had a no-hitter there tonight. Cincinnati won big over the where'd that game go? Come on. Why did it leave my screen? Come on. Reds. Oh, yeah, 8-1 over the Padres. You can see behind me, I moved the hats. The Giants back on top over the Padres. 8-1, almost a no-hitter for Nick Martinez, who took a no-hitter into the 9th inning tonight. Spencer Steer had 3 home runs for Cincinnati. So some big-time scoring. Another Blue Jays smoked the Red Sox 9-0. Some big scoring tonight. Orioles 22-8 over the Rays. Pirates over the Mets 9-1. So some big time scoring. Dodgers are leading in the bottom of the 8th over the Royals 5-4 in Kansas City. Brewers 7-6 over the Rockies. So you see the numbers that are put up. Rangers, Mariners 5-5. My goodness. The Giants 3-1. But a win's a win's a win. And
Dan, most importantly tonight, I was happy for Bailey, but that was a 2-out hit. And, during the 3-game losing streak and recently, we just haven't been getting the big 2-out hits. So, you got to give it to Bailey, for the big hit. And then, of course, you got to give Flores the hit. He was responsible, and that was, sort of a key situation because if Flores doesn't get a hit there, who knows what happens? Because the Giants kept having chances. You got a player picked off in the first. It's like, Adames made a mistake. It was just, hey, take a win any way you can. We only have 80 left, so we got to get as many as we can.
Yeah, 80 left, and if the Giants can win, 45? Go 45 and 35? They'll be in the playoffs. Yeah, for sure. I'm just going back to that first inning. What are you saying? We got a player picked off. When did we get a player picked off?
Wisely.
Oh, that wasn't in the first inning. Yeah, that was late in the game.
Oh, I thought that was early.
No, that was like.
Oh no, he got picked off first. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I wrote down my notes wrong. My fault. My fault.
I'm going back to the play-by-play of the game. I'm going, there was no pickoff in the first.
So what do you think about the play early with Adames? I mean, the ball's right at him. Yeah. Well, actually, and then, so do you remember, I think it was like the 4th or 5th, he had a ground ball. They should have gave him an error there too. So really, he should have had 2. He only had the one in the first. It was like the 4th inning. There was a ground ball to him. And
are you talking about the one in the first? Let me look it up again. It was the one that was kind of in the hole and he was charging and it kind of went off the palm of his glove. You talking about that one?
Yeah, that one they didn't give him an error. They gave him an error in the first inning, I thought. I thought he should have had 2 errors, the one in the first and then the one in the 4th. But I'm looking at the box score and they
Vargas was safe error at first on the fielding error by Adames. I didn't think the one that was I can't even remember it.
Okay, you thought the one in the 4th just was more of a fielder choice. Okay.
Well, I didn't think that was an error. I think did they give him a hit? I think they gave him a hit. It kind of rolled up on him, and he was going to have a throw across his body.
Yeah, I'm just a little disappointed in his defense. I mean, I assumed
I
all the talk, him and Chapman, how great they were. Okay.
I think Adames has actually been pretty good at shortstop, to be honest. I mean, he's played a pretty decent shortstop. I don't really have any complaints with his fielding. I do, I think his hitting's coming around. I think the Giants tonight, this is the way the Giants play the game. They don't score a lot. They're going to win these low-scoring games, get you into the 6th inning as Roop did, and then the bullpen comes in and shuts it down. It's clear that Walker has moved up to the front of the line instead of, he was the closer. I think he's now the guy that will come in the 6th inning. That could be situational based on who's coming up. But I think Rodriguez is probably best in the 7th. Rogers seems to be settled in his career in the 8th inning.
He's amazing.
Then you got Duvall. I thought the one area that needs to be, worked on is with Roop and Birdsong is when you do take a lead and you got to lead, you got to throw strikes, at least to the first batter. I mean, you cannot start the inning off with a walk. You got to, if they get a hit, okay, fine. Throw your best stuff, but don't try and get cute and fine. He looked like he was tiring to me. I think that was the issue. Roop looked tired and he was struggling. Melvin got him out of there just in time, maybe one batter too late. But, I'm not going to, I think he was hoping he would get the double play with his sinker. He got the ground ball. It was just kind of a slow chopper and there wasn't enough time for, Wisely, I thought made a really good play on that in that he had to get that clean and shovel it to Adames quickly. That was not an easy hop. That was kind of a in-betweener hop, and he was able to get the lead guy, which was the most important. So I think that was really impressive by Wisely. I think him getting picked off in the top of the ninth after leading off you get on in the ninth inning and you lead off with a walk and you get picked off. He was obviously looked like to me he was getting ready to go on the pitch. And man, make him throw twice over. Make him throw twice and then take your cheat lead and lean and go for it. The White Sox kind of set him up, but you can't get picked off. This team is, how many times have we seen guys I don't know, has it been the last 3-4 weeks where it's like every game or other game, the Giants either get picked off or run into an out at home plate or, just some, or get doubled off
quite a bit.
Just some kind of base running gaff. It's like, man, I know, and it's you can't say it's just the young guys. You can't just say, well, it's Ramos and Wisely and Schmidt. I mean, it's Chapman. It's it's just. But I think this is as we said last night, this road trip to me is the make or break for the team because it's a 10-game road trip. I said if the Giants come back 3-7 on this trip, it could derail their season because then they got the Phillies and Dodgers before the All-Star break. On the other hand, if they go 7-3 or even 6-4, that's just a good feeling. I think this is a trip you want to go 7-3. And 7-3, put 4 games instead of being 7 over 500, you're 11 over 500. And I think you end up really getting to a place of, real growth on the club. You have a good feeling. And again, I think this is a good road trip for the crew. You're going to Chicago, great place to really start a road trip against a not very let's just be frank. It's a bad team. And you get right there and then you come back west and you're back on the Pacific time zone. And you really only left your time zone for 3 days. You get back in Arizona, you play 4 there, maybe, division rival, maybe you can win 3 of 4. You definitely want to get at least a split. Then you go up to Sacramento where it should be very favorable crowds. And almost all of the Giants players that came, the ones that came up in the system are very used to the park. So it should be pretty interesting. So, but Lou, what's your take on the Giants lineup tonight? The lineup was a little different. They had Yaz in the cleanup position tonight. They had Ramos leading off, and then Devers and Flores. And then you had, Devers struck out 3 times tonight, killed my fantasy team. Come on, Raphael. Yaz struck out a couple more times in the cleanup spot of all places. Adames moved up to 5th, Lee 6th, Koss, Bailey, Wisely. Koss was the big hitter tonight, getting 2 hits. Bailey was the guy that drove in the two runs with the phantom triple, but you'll take it. Lineup is, I mean, when I look at that lineup, it's not. I don't have any.
It's soft.
Soft. Yeah, if I'm the opposing pitcher, I'm not getting.
Yeah,
I'm not getting too nervous.
And the one thing that sort of upset me tonight is I'm trying to remember the exact situation, but I believe Adames walked, and Lee was up, and the Giants, I think it was still 1-1 at the time. Giants are so desperate for runs, and Lee's not hitting. He's so good with the bat. Why are we not bunting runners over? You got a guy on, bump the guy over so it puts a little pressure on Chicago. And that's the one thing I don't understand. When a team's not scoring, like Hum Baby himself would bunt people over. So you put the pressure on the defense. And, it's not like Lee's killing the ball. He's now down below 250. He's batting 248. And what did he do as usual? So it's just, it's just frustrating, And I think the thing is tonight, you're playing the White Sox. It's almost like a must win coming off being swept by the Marlins. And, I don't mean to be critical, but I'm critical. I don't like, we got to do the basics. Adames made the error. We had a guy get picked off. We were 1 for 9 in runner scoring position again. We have to play better all around ball. And that's hitting in spots, bunting the runner over, playing great defense. And our manager, like everybody else saw, when our pitcher's struggling, there's no need to keep them out. It's not like, yesterday where we used the whole entire bullpen, and I know it's the first game of a road trip, first game of a series, but still, you got to get that first win. But, we got it done. So, I can't really complain, much, but, this team has to play better team ball.
Yeah. They definitely do. And it's, worst base running team in baseball. Maybe I haven't seen all the teams and what they're doing, but it can't be, if it's not the worst, it can't be far from it. Let's see what else we got in the chat. I'm going in here. Let's see. What did the Giants end up with tonight? Only 6 hits? 6 hits tonight for the Giants. 1 each at the top of the lineup for Ramos, Devers, Flores, 2 for Koss, and 1 for Bailey. I'll say this about Wilmer Flores. I've said it. I said, he's going to help you win games when he's in the lineup because he's going to come up with a clutch hit here and there. I still don't like him playing every day. I don't like Wilmer Flores in the lineup because we're just starting the second half. There's 80 games to go. This guy is not going to be available. You play Wilmer Flores out at first base and you keep playing him, he's going to wear down. He's not that durable. He's very non-athletic. Again, I'm not knocking Wilmer Flores. He's a guy that I want to see come up when the Giants need a big hit and they got Patrick Bailey coming to the plate, or they got, Koss or Wisely or somebody's coming up the plate and it's a key situation. And I want Wilmer Flores in there.
Yeah, especially 7th, 8th, 9th inning.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got to have somebody. Yeah.
You got to have some. I want Wilmer Flores there because Wilmer Flores is a professional hitter. He'll give you a very solid bat. And ideally, I want runners in scoring position when Wilmer comes up where he can't hit into a double play and end the inning. Like second and third would be nice if you can if you can make it perfect,
Yeah, that
Wilmer
double
Flores,
play that he hit into the guy at short, threw it to second. The guy in second pumped 3 times, and he was still out by 20 feet. It was oh my God. It's like, God, it's going to be close now. All right.
No. He's like, he bobbled it out of his glove. He couldn't get the ball to throw it. And it's like, I better hurry. And then he goes, looks up and goes, oh, crap. I got all day.
All day. And the other thing, too, tonight about the Giants, they only got 6 hits, but they got 7 walks. When you get that many walks, you got to make the opponent pay for it.
Yeah.
So,
Wilmer did make some nice plays. He made a couple nice plays, made the nice play at first down the line, and then he stabbed the ball that was, got it. Looked like he got off the ground a little bit too to get it. So, no, Wilmer's, I like him when he's playing first. I have no problem defensively with him. I just don't want to see him in there every day. I think Wilmer in the lineup 3-4 times a week is plenty. Keep him fresh, keep his bat fresh, but don't play him every day, because I would be surprised if he plays all 3 games at first. My guess is he's off tomorrow. Dominic Smith's in there, and then they go back to Flores at first on
whoever
Sunday.
plays third seems to be the position. You bat 7th, you play third for the Giants, you get 2 hits. It's Schmidt, Koss, it's amazing.
Tomorrow they got Hauser, Casey Schmidt. Casey Schmidt could be back tomorrow. Let's see. Hauser's he's got a low ERA, 2.27.
Yeah, his last 2 starts, 15, I think 2 runs and 15 innings.
Yeah. So he's pitched well. Yeah, he pitched at Toronto on the 22nd. He went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, 3 base on balls, 4 strikeouts. Start before that was against Texas, where he went 5 innings and gave up 3 runs. And then prior to that, he went against Kansas City, went 6 innings, only giving up 1 run. So he gives up generally about a hit an inning, maybe a little bit over a hit an inning on average. But against the Giants, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
And Robert Rothberg coming in with his they will be the team to beat. Yes, I think that I put him over the Dodgers. I wouldn't even bat an eye, Robert. I wouldn't even bat an eye. The Dodgers have so many holes in their lineup. It's unbelievable how many holes they have in that lineup. I don't know how the Giants are going to beat the Dodgers. Honestly, they got the Yamamoto wild, and then they got the grand slam by Schmidt. That's how you 4 runs at once. Giants don't ever get 4 runs at once without a home run, So that was kind of a good thing to see. They get 5 runs and win that. I think they won that game 6-1. But if they're going to have to score 4 runs to beat the Dodgers most nights, probably 5 or 6.
Almost every night.
Yeah, because the Dodgers, there's just no real holes in there. Their worst hitter has been Michael Conforto, and he didn't get the start tonight.
And like Betts has been out for 2 weeks, and they're still scoring.
Yeah, Betts is playing.
Tonight, but he's coming off an injury. The one thing about them tonight is, and I don't want to bring it up, but their leadoff hitter has been like on fire. Your former player on your fantasy team, he had a homer tonight, a triple. He almost hit another one that just went foul.
Otani, yeah. A healthy Giants team, they can in a short series. Sure, Robert, they can. You better line up. Make sure Webb and Ray are pitching.
They got to get there first.
Yeah, Webb and Ray in a series. If you got those 2 guys, you got a good chance.
Dan, tonight, I don't know if you saw the crowd. It was almost capacity because Flo Rida is playing. tonight, and they had fireworks, so that's why it was crowded. So tomorrow it'll be empty, so you'll be able to hear every time he pitches tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
they'll probably have about 8,000 or 9,000 only.
That's right.
Yep.
This is a funny comment. The Dodgers' worst hitter was our cleanup hitter last year. Yeah, he's hitting 176. Conforto. He got benched.
He'd be one of our better hitters.
He got benched for Kiki Hernandez, who's hitting 204. Dodgers are they'll probably go out and get Luis Robert, stick him in right field, right? Move Teoscar to left.
Yeah, that's the big rumor.
Or vice versa. And then Luis Robert hitting 6th or 7th in the lineup will be just like no pressure and just make contact and kaboom. And he'll become what he was 2 years ago. Watch.
Yep.
Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, the Dodgers hitter is producer Ryan's favorite hitter. Yeah. I don't know what I like Conforto as a guy. I don't know. But so we'll see. Dan needing a game-winning base hit. Who would you prefer, Devers or Flores? Devers. I mean, Devers is the better hitter, and you saw it with his first at bat or second at bat when he went to left field with down 0-2 count. I mean, that's not a knock on Flores. I just prefer a guy that's, top 15 hitter in the game. So, is this our old buddy Greg? Greg Dan is really starting to annoy me. Well, good for you, Greg. I'm happy I can be of annoyance to you tonight. Just like Chick-fil-A. My pleasure.
Kansas City's trying to start something in the bottom of the ninth against the Dodgers. It's 5-4. They got runners at first and second with 1 out.
Right. I'm going to turn that game on, guys. I'm going to put that game on.
MLB Network.
We'll watch it right now we'll watch it together. No, we won't. I can't do that.
Yeah, I think for Lee, the All-Star break can't come fast enough. You take a couple days off, can refocus, because he's just it's tough.
There we go. A little pickoff play at second, but they didn't get him. Okay, so We'll give you a little Dodger action right now. It's 5-4, 1 out, first and second. Looks like Salvador Perez, but I can't. Yeah, it is. I couldn't see who. Salvador Perez. Now, this is a possible game-inning double play waiting to happen. This guy's slow. If he puts the ball on the ground, first and second, 1 out, Salvador Perez. Remember him against Bumgarner. The pitch. He hits a fly ball into right field. It could drop. Is it trouble? No, Hernandez. No, it does drop. It does drop. Bases are loaded. It looked like Hernandez deked out me and the runner. The runner thought
still one of the best catchers in the league.
Still, yeah, he's still
even
there.
37 years old. Yeah.
Okay, this could be big, guys. Bases loaded for the Kansas City Royals. And who is coming up to the plate? It's Caglione. Jack Caglione, lefty on lefty.
He's batting 182 on the season.
The big hitter, power hitter from college in the pitch. Oh, he hits it. It's going to be a game-winning double play. It is. Freddie Freeman scooped it out of the dirt on a snow cone. No way. No way. Are they going to look at that? The ball's a snow cone. A game-inning double play. The Dodgers win again.
Boy, that was a tease.
What a pick. Watch this pick, Lou. Can you see it?
Yeah. So they grounded to second. Betts throws to first. Oh, yeah. Great play. Stretch and everything.
Look at
because the
ball.
run would have came in if he doesn't catch
Yeah.
it. Oh, so now this is the last out. So obviously they're going to protest it, right?
Look at the ball.
Yeah.
It's a matter of his foot. He's out. I don't see any review. Let me look. Let me look here. Does his foot remain on the bag? That's going to be the question. It looks like it did. What a pick. That ball is this close to falling out of the glove. Dodgers win their 5th in a row. No review. If they did, it's over. Dodgers are walking off the field into the clubhouse. 5-4.
They were down too the whole game.
A game-inning double play with bases loaded. Doggone it. That sucks. Anyway, yeah, it's an unfortunate. Great guy like Freeman is a Dodger. Jeez.
Great ESPN special on him and his family.
I've seen that. Yeah, really
pretty
good.
emotional. Overall, good guy.
Yeah, good guy. You root for good guys.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers walk it off, or not walk it off, but they almost got walked off. If that ball was hit hard too by Caglione, just hit it right at him. It's amazing that he got down the line to make it, a close play. But
that's
Freeman,
a thing like that, Dan. You're also playing to prevent doubles, so you're playing on the line, to make sure the ball doesn't get through. If they play regular, maybe Freeman can't get back, because if the ball, I didn't see it looked hard, but
whether he can get back to first, he probably does. But yeah, he would have had to take off immediately. Yeah, if he's deeper,
a
little bit off the bag. Yeah,
it happens.
It's amazing.
Yeah, good thing the Giants won. We don't lose another game in the standings.
Yeah, Padres do. Yeah. Padres lose a game in the standings.
They've been on problem. They're just not scoring. Some of these, like the Mets, they only scored, I think, 1 run again tonight. I think they've scored like 3 runs in 5 games.
Yeah,
but New York will do something about it. They'll make a trade. They'll do something.
If we look at the standings, actually, the Dodgers. This hasn't been
updated
with the Dodgers win, but the Dodgers are now 52-31 and 6.5 over the Giants. Padres fall to 7. Let me see if we get a little update. Nope, still not updated on ESPN. So Dodgers go up to plus 90. The Giants move up to plus 36. Man, 5 in a row for the Bums. But if we look at the actual wild card standings, let's take a look at the wild card. Giants are right there in 3rd. Padres, Cardinals lurking a half game back. Cincinnati starting to play better. Cincinnati, I bet you they've been about 7 out of 10. What are they? 6-4 last 10. Okay. St. Louis. If you look at those teams in the wild card, the Mets are 3-7, Milwaukee 7-3. So that's where Milwaukee made some ground.
Yep.
Made 3 games up on the Giants. They moved to 2nd, and Milwaukee did. Padres 5-5, Cardinals 7-3, Reds 6-4, Diamondbacks 5-5, and Atlanta 6-4. So everybody was either 500 and above, except the Mets and the Giants, out of those 8 teams. So Giants just need to start their own 10-game period where they go 8-2, 7-3, right? And I think this is the time to do it, guys. I really do. This is the time for the Giants to really. You're not going to put much distance between these teams, but you have to at least gain a game or 2 on them during this next 10 games on everybody. Because this probably, I don't want to say with Arizona, but this was a weaker part of their schedule. You just had Miami for 3 and you lost all 3. Now you got Chicago. So you got Chicago, you got to take 3, and then you got to go into Arizona, take 3 or 4, and go into Sacramento and take 2 or 3. And if you do that, you're actually 8-2 on the trip. And if you split with Arizona, you're 7-3. So that's why I say this is a really, really important trip, really, really important series with the White Sox. You can see even with Brett Wisely and Christian Koss and Patrick Bailey in the lineup, 3 non-factors. you can see the Giants are still better than the White Sox. That's how bad the White Sox are. I mean, the Giants, 1/3 of their lineup is made up of 3 guys that you would probably, if you said, hey, we need this big hit. You get this big hit. You save my family. You save all my children's lives. You probably would not select any one of those 3 guys to go up to the plate to do it.
I think the next 2 games, almost, if you lose to the White Sox, especially where the wild card is getting so tight, it's like losing 2 games in a row. These are the games you got to sweep, considering you got swept at home against the Marlins. They're big games. We got to start this road trip and get on a roll.
Loyalty over money says Bailey will get going here. He says, trust me, he will get back and he will finish the year 220 or better. I'd be really shocked to see Bailey put up 28 points on his batting average.
Why are we so excited if he bats 220? What is wrong with everyone? He's batting. I mean, we're talking about a guy we're happy that he's batting 220. This is the major league, guys. I'm not gonna be satisfied. I want Adames to at least bat 250. We're paying the guy $36 million a year.
Yeah, he's talking about Bailey hitting 220.
Yeah, 220. That's horrible.
Yeah, if he hits 220 at this point in the year, that means he's probably going to be hitting closer to 240, 250 for the rest of the season. You could probably live with it, but he's at 192, and I don't see him. The reason I don't see him getting to 220 is because I don't think he's going to have the stamina down the stretch to be. There's going to be some tight pressure games coming up August, September, with playoff implications on the line. Catchers, I mean, it's going to be like, but if Bailey does just try and go up there and just play fungo again, that was didn't he hit that right-handed to right field tonight? Wasn't that from the right side? You're muted, by the way.
What do you think? I thought it was right-handed again.
Pretty sure,
because it was sort of going against it.
Yeah.
And, and then that guy, sort of went for it, I guess why not? Right. But, it was like, it was a triple. So.
Yeah, it was right-handed. So the ball probably had some
flow
spin
to it.
But the fact that he just kind of punches it. I would never play Bailey. Like when Bailey's up right-handed, I'm playing Little League outfield. I'm playing the Little League outfield. I'm literally playing like close to 100 feet in from, 50 feet in minimum from where you normally would play.
Yeah.
Because if they did that in right field, that's an easy grab.
Yep.
He's not gonna punch it over your head, right?
No,
especially to right field. He's not gonna just pop it over your head. You got to think when I used to play outfield and I saw a little midget guy come up that I knew that couldn't hit, man, I was playing center field. I was playing 30 feet behind second base. I said, there's no way this guy is going to be able to give it a ride. So I just, Bailey batting left-handed, he can give it a ride. He can give it a ride left-handed. If I'm Bailey and he seems to almost bat better right-handed because he goes up there with an approach of just like, well, I'm just going to try and punch it in there because I know I can't drive it. So
Agree.
Bailey won the game today. Leave the poor kid alone. Yeah. No, we're just having fun at the fact that he'd hit that right-handed. Hey, look, he got the hit, and yeah, Roop is pitching well. Would you not say that Roop's their third best starter?
I think he depends too much on that slider, and he'll keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it. That's what I saw today, because really that's sort of his pitch. I'm not going to say he throws as much as Walker, but, stud's sort of a high word. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
to
think
me, I don't think he's a stud. I think
he's our third. I think he's our third best starter.
Starter. Well, that's a problem then. A young kid being our third best. And as Dan, you've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we need another starter.
Yeah.
So
hey guys, I put this out on Twitter last night. A guy that Giants might want to consider, and I'm not saying if this guy's available as a free agent right now. Kyle Gibson, who pitched earlier in the year, did not start off well, got rocked, but then he signed a deal with Tampa, and he was pitching for AAA, and he had 4 starts, and in those 4 starts in AAA, he went 17 in the third innings, gave up only 1 run. Now he left Tampa Bay, says, I want to be a free agent because they didn't bring him up, so he had that clause in his contract that veterans get. He's available right now. I would grab him. You know what's the worst thing that can happen? He throws a couple of bad games and you release him, right? I mean, why not go get him before the trade deadline, put him in the rotation, and give him a few starts, and you sign him to a deal. You probably sign him for like $1 million, $2 million right now for the rest of the season. $1 million guaranteed. Come on, sign him, see what he does, and then if he's pitching well, you found yourself an arm, and if he stinks, you just say, ta-da, see ya. Happens all the time. So I would do that.
You might have something there, Dan. Why not?
And I don't think he wants a minor league deal, Rob. He just left a minor league deal and chose to become a free agent. And I think what that does for the Giants is you can spot start him. You can go to even a 6-man rotation for a while, give Birdsong and Roop an extra day, maybe pitch Webb on his 4th day, and then just push everybody else a day back and get him into the rotation. If Verlander fails and Gibson's doing well, you got Gibson to take his place. If Birdsong fails, we know Roop he's pitched now on the season. I want to say he's pitched about 80 innings after tonight. Let me look up Landon Roop and see what he's coming into tonight's game. Roop on the season had pitched 76 innings. He went 5 1/3. So he's just over 81 innings. If we look at Landon Roop last year with the Giants, he pitched 50 innings with the Giants. But let's take a look at his minor league stats and see what Landon Roop did last year in Sacramento. Okay, combined year, he threw a total of, where are we at here? Hold on. Give me my total here. In 24, why am I getting this mixed up here? Sorry, guys. two teams, 24, AAA through 26 innings. Sacramento, he threw 21. So that's 47 plus the 50. He threw 97, 98 innings in the 24 season. Okay. The most he's thrown in 23 season, Landon Roop threw 31 innings. That's it. In 23 in Richmond, 31 innings. In the 22 year, between Richmond and Eugene and San Jose, he pitched 107 innings. So Landon Roop is thrown 81 innings, guys. He's coming up on his high of 107 here. Probably, let's see, 5 times 525, about another 5 starts. Landon Roop is going to top out his highest innings total. So he might be able to go a little bit longer than that. So maybe he's got 8 to 10 starts left in him before you say,
yeah,
where's he going to be?
3 more starts before the All-Star break.
Yeah. So he's not going to make it. Why not go out and, like I said, Giants, go sign Kyle Gibson. He's not the answer. He's not an ace. He's, what he did in AAA might been just a benefit of, look, I'm facing guys. I'm a crafty veteran. I know how to pitch to these guys. Maybe that's part of it. The 17 innings he threw with only giving up a run. It could be he just mastercrafted him, which you can't do to the big leaguers as much. But he's an arm that threw 169 innings last year. 169 innings. And he's thrown not even close to that this year. So he's got a strong arm. And he's kind of more of a finesse pitcher. I say go after him. And let's get another starting pitcher. You know why we get him now? Because what happens if he's good and then you don't have to give up somebody to trade and get somebody that's kind of similar to him? Or maybe you do trade somebody and get another guy, but they're available. Guys are available. Don't says, is it me or does Bailey and Adames swing at pitches 2 feet off the plate? Send Verlander to the retirement home. Yeah. Adames and more so Bailey, or I should say Adames, I've seen takes a lot of pitches. I mean, swings at a lot of pitches outside the zone, but I'm not fond of openers, but I see what you're saying there with Birdsong. Birdsong, we saw this kind of last year. He looked dynamite one start, and the next start he just looked pretty bad. So we got to see where this is going to take us. Hold on, let me turn my AC down a little bit off my phone. I'm getting sweaty here. Make sure you guys hit that like button in there. If you're watching, go ahead and hit the like button and give us a like. It helps with the algorithms. Thank you, Kyle. Don't says I like opener. Birdie is done. I don't know if Birdie's done. How many innings is Birdsong? Birdsong has still innings left in him. I do want to see Matos get up here. As I look at this lineup tonight, guys, again, Yaz hitting 244. I'm telling you, he's going to end up in the 230s or less. When I say less, maybe in the 220s. Bailey's at 192. I'm not even going to count Koss. Jung-Hoo Lee's at 248. This guy, can we take a look at his at-bats tonight? And let me see. Can we get let me see if I can pull this off here. I want to get Jung-Hoo Lee's.
How about his stats just for the last month? Oh,
no, they're awful. I'm just curious of what the exit velocity on the balls he hits. Where can I find that stat? Jung-Hoo Lee, second inning, grounded out. The usual. 90 miles an hour. 90. Okay. That's his first at bat. Let's go to Jung-Hoo Lee's bat in the fourth, where he grounded out to third.
The usual.
Hold on here. Grounded out the third. 88 miles an hour, Jung-Hoo Lee. Let's take a look at Jung-Hoo Lee fly out in the sixth inning. 90 miles an hour. Wait. Hold on. That might be the pitch count. Yeah, that's the pitch. I'm sorry. They're not giving me the exit velocity on the. No, they're not giving me the exit velocity on that. Shoot. Yeah, I don't. Where can I find that? It's just very
soft.
Weak contact, and I don't like it. I don't like the fact that this guy just slapped the ball into left field, please. How about work on your bunting game and lay a bunt down? Do something different than grounding out and flying. I mean, there are lots of ground balls and very weak fly balls that have a very low percentage chance of getting a hit because they're just so feathery. They're just like, hey, they're fly balls like you're playing catch for the first time with your 6-year-old.
Like a fungo bat off a fungo bat.
It's like a dad who's going to play catch with
Be
his
careful. Just put your mitt up.
Yeah, with your 6-year-old. First time. Okay, Johnny, be careful. Put your glove up. I'm going to give you a slow toss, and you're just going to follow it and put the glove where you see it. And then of course, you use a little softer ball in case Johnny misses it and it knocks him right in the face. But these are the kind of balls Jung-Hoo Lee puts in the air. Just very feathery,
I got all day. Don't worry. It's coming down soon eventually. Dan, you bring up Birdsong, where he's struggling. His next two starts are really in hitters' ballparks, at Arizona, where usually the offense is a little bit better. And then he goes to that small ballpark in Sacramento. So he's really got to step up.
Who's that?
Birdsong. His next two starts are at Arizona, where, the balls take off, and then he goes to Sacramento.
Aaron says Jung-Hoo Lee, grandson of Breaking Wind. Yeah. I do remember this time when Matos, Luciano, and Ramos were all up, and they went 9-1, or I think it was 9-1 or 8-2 during the stretch that all three of those guys were playing. And then Luciano started struggling in the field, and they said, "That's it."
One error at short, and then he was bought down. It seemed like one error.
Yeah, I think it was a couple, but they brought him in one of those 10 games as a late inning replacement in the ninth inning. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" I do want to see Matos. Oh yeah, this must be for the Jung-Hoo Lee. And Clues idiot casuals have to get their Hello Kitty jersey, so I guess he has to start every day. Yeah, what is it with the Jung-Hoo Lee crowd with the crazy hats and their Jung-Hoo Lee? Like, dude, You're kind of hoping at this point he opts out after the 4th year.
They have every giveaway, 90% of it's all about him. No other players, not one other player. But they did add one. Did you see they now have Devers late in September? Because apparently it was a giveaway for late night, and of course he's not here anymore.
Okay.
So they switched it. Here you go, Dan. Shasta, sorry, has the lead at bats at 8:26.
Is there anything you attribute? Okay. Interesting.
Do you
about
see the miles an hour his bats were?
On Birdsong?
No, on Lee's at bats. You were wondering how fast they are off the bat.
I wasn't able to find him. Did somebody find him?
Yeah, somebody found him. Shada at 8:26. Or Shuda? Is it SHOTA?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Second inning, 92.5. Ground out. 4th inning, 61 mile an hour ground out. That was 1 to 3rd, the little chopper. 6th inning, 86.3 mile fly out. 8th inning, 96. Yeah. I mean, you pretty much have to hit the ball over 95 miles an hour most of the time to have a better opportunity for a hit. So the two in the middle, the 61 and the 86. I mean, the 86 is what I'm talking about. The little feathery fly ball that, I seen way too much of it. Hey, this Birdsong, Otis,
sorry,
there's a report. I just got a text, you and I did, I think, from Bora. Birdsong said he felt great until the 5th. Honestly, I don't know what happened. His velocity dropped from 96, 97 to 93. Bora wrote to me, says, I'm wondering if there's an underlying issue here. Sudden velocity dip along with lack of control could mean something is wrong with the elbow. Possibly, yeah. I mean, look, Tommy John hits everybody. Hopefully it doesn't hit him, but it's a concern when you see velocity drop that much. It should not drop that much. We'll see. The Giants definitely need starting pitching. No doubt about it. I think they're huge issue. I mean, third base and second base are going to be addressed shortly, probably within the next 10 games, right? When Chapman comes back, Schmidt says he's going to try and play tomorrow. And hopefully that's the case. He's dealing with some pain, and it's a bone bruise. So that's something that is hard to heal. Just takes a lot of time. And, the All-Star break, you got 9 more games plus the 6, 15 more games. Then you get 4 days off. That's going to help get that, get some healing time. But they're just going to have to treat that with lots of ice, and I don't know what else you can treat a bruise with, but man. Yeah, they're definitely going to have to go outside, Dallas. Definitely going to have to go outside. I don't know if you were in here in the chat, but I was recommending that they go after Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson is a free agent coming off of, just became a free agent leaving Tampa Bay after throwing 4 starts of 17 in the 3rd inning, only giving up 1 run. He's a free agent. Somebody's going to sign him soon. I think the Giants jump at the chance to go get him. The worst that can happen is he doesn't perform for you and you just cut him. I mean, you sign him to what are you signing somebody right now to? A 3-month deal, right? July, August, September for the most part.
Costs $650,000 because the minimum.
Well, the minimum's like $787, so half of that is like $400,000. Yeah. You could probably get away with giving him a guaranteed $500,000. Maybe if you're in a battle with a couple other teams and you give them $1 million, and it's like really giving a guy $2 million, because you're only paying him. It's like, get him signed, get him in the rotation, and if he doesn't, give him a couple starts, and if he doesn't have it, didn't the Giants do this a couple years ago with Quintana?
Yeah.
Didn't they sign him in the
lefty.
21
Yeah, 'cause
season? And
I'm looking up Kyle. You guys got to remember he's still under contract originally. The Orioles are paying us $5.25 million. So the Giants would only be responsible, I think, for only $250,000 because the Orioles are paying us 5.25. And which is surprising is the Orioles, remember, don't have any starters at all. And they got rid of. So yeah, why not?
Matos for Luis Robert Jr. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, Robert's got 2 club option years after this. Fairly reasonable. Bubic, I don't think you're going to get Bubic. He's with Kansas City and doing pretty decently. I don't think they're going to let him go. They're in the race too. Yeah. Again, Matt Williams DH because he can't coach third. Oh. Wow. Yeah. I mean, hey, look, Giants get a much needed win. You take them any way you can get it. Yep.
Yeah.
Pup USA says celebrate the win. Yeah.
Yeah. We won an ugly victory. Probably due for one of those.
Yeah. So you hope, Giants can just come back tomorrow. Tomorrow night we'll be back on, guys. Probably come on 7:30.
And tomorrow's a 1:10 our time game.
But we won't. I don't think we'll come on at 4 in the afternoon. We'll probably wait till the evening. If you're a Sharks fan out there, and
nice pickup,
very, very nice pickup in the draft tonight. They drafted a goal scorer, a center by the name of Michael Misa, but not sure if you pronounce it Misa or Misa.
He's a little small, but he can put the ball in the net.
Yeah, he's 6-foot guy, almost 6 feet and 3/4. Smaller guy, 184 pounds. He's got a left. Is he a lefty shot? More of a. I'm not sure, but here's the scouting report. If you're interested on him, exceptional status in the OHL. It's at the Ontario Hockey.
Yeah, he's the best offensive player in the draft.
Yeah, Misa delivered one of the most remarkable goal-scoring seasons in recent memory in the 24-25 season, netting 62 goals in just 65 games. He projects to be a top-line forward capable of consistently exceeding 90 points per season in the NHL. Misa's offensive instincts are elite. He processes the game at a high level and executes at top speed. Scouts believe he is NHL ready and has the potential to become an elite top-line center. Away from the puck, Misa excels at finding soft areas in coverage and has a flair for delivering in clutch moments. His combination of high-end playmaking and goal-scoring ability makes him a constant dual threat in the offensive zone. Yeah, he also had 72 assists.
Yeah.
Yeah, 65 games, 62 goals, 75 assists, 134 points. And they say if his two-way game continues to improve, there's a real chance that the Sharks will have 2 centers capable of dominating play in all 3 zones with 2024 number 1 pick Macklin Celebrini already in place. On the power play, Misa can facilitate being a shooting threat and carry the puck on entries. Because of his dual threat capabilities, he can play the bumper, the flank, or down low. With the selection, the Sharks have the potential to feature the best 1-2 punch in the middle, down the middle for years to come. Yeah, what you're looking at, guys, is if you're a Sharks guy, I've talked to my hockey guys, Cliff Martinez, who's in here. Robert is in here, and they're both saying he's probably going to be on the second line as the center. You know, that the first line would be Celebrini, Eklund and Smith as the forwards, and Celebrini in the center, and then Chernirzov, Misa, and Toffoli on the second line. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, Dan, in 2028, I'd say in about 2 years, the Sharks are going to be where Edmonton was this year on offense. We're still, we got to work on everything, get a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But like 28, 29, and 30, Sharks are going to be the best in the West. Something to look forward to. So if you ever wanted to think about getting Sharks tickets and sharing with someone, this is the time. And as you know, we have a friend of the shows that will probably come on in the next month or month and a half, and he can talk more about the future of the Sharks.
There we go. I just reached out to him tonight. Yeah. Aaron, with that comment, we have to give our friendly reminder. He says, who's going to win the next championship and in what order? Giants, Niners, Warriors, Sharks, or no Valkyrie. No Valkyrie. I just have a thing for being against the WNBA. But let's talk about this. Giants, Niners, Warriors, or Sharks. Who wins the next championship? I'm going to say it's the Sharks.
Hands down.
I'm going to say the Sharks, and I think it happens near the end of this decade.
Yeah, I'd say 2030.
Yeah, I think it's the Sharks. I think the Warriors, depending on what happens Monday, if they do something major Monday, they could have I hold my right to see what they do. But if they don't, I think you may be looking at some years that kind of remind you of, the early 2000s of the Warriors, when it was just bleak. After Curry and Jimmy are done, after they got 2 years, and they're in a loaded West. Giants next year, even year dynasty, baby. And and so 26. Are we going to have baseball in 27? I think we're going to have a lockout or a strike. I think what's going to happen in 27, here's my take. After the 26 season, owners are going to, because of the Dodgers and teams like that and the Mets, they're going to ask for a salary cap and a floor. They're going to ask for a minimum and a cap. And who gets hurt in a salary cap and who benefits? The top end players end up having to give up a little bit, and the bottom players that are making minimums, they get more because you're going to have a floor. And that floor is probably, if the salary cap's 240-ish right now, it's not even a cap, but it's the luxury tax. Let's say they set the cap, Lou, at 250. Let's say they set it at 250.
Yep.
And I set your alarm for 2:50 a.m.
I'm not talking to you, Siri. Look at this. Come on. I'm not even talking to you. Jeez. Tells you how much you're listening to everything. So 250, and it could be more, but I think I think the owners are going to want to try and do something like the NFL, where there's a little bit of more of a revenue sharing, and you have a floor, like the A's. Some of these teams have salaries of under 100 million. I think you end up getting 150 floor and 250 cap, and then teams, you make it more competitive.
But also, won't it be grandfathered in? So like someone like Ohtani's contract.
I don't think they get grandfathered in. I think you just have to make adjustments. Let me check my alarm. Hold on here. 2:50 a.m. Look, it is on, Dallas. I'm glad you told me that. Otherwise, look at that. 2:50 a.m. It's got the green button. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I see
alarm.
It.
Okay.
Your alarm got set because you asked Siri to say 2:50.
I was talking about the salary cap.
Huh? Siri's just following the rules.
Yeah.
Put me down at 2:50.
Yeah, they have a light revenue sharing, but I could see it being kind of closer to the NFL. You can't have, I mean, if the Dodgers, especially if the Dodgers somehow win the World Championship this year and next year, or it's the Mets and the Dodgers, or the Mets and the Yankees and Dodgers, if the next two championships are LA or New York teams, they're gonna definitely fight for this cap. And then the owners are just gonna, what'll happen is the players union will say no way, and eventually the players union will break and say we got to play baseball. So that's what I see coming. So enjoy the baseball you got for this year and next year.
Hey guys, speaking of baseball, we still have squares somehow.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a little upset at everyone because, we're going to be in July, and then before you know it, you guys have to pick one of the games. It's getting to the point now where, we got to have it sold out probably by the last Dodger game, before the All-Star break. Come on, guys.
Let's play the promo, guys, and we're going to get out of here. Pick some squares, guys, and it's $20. If you don't win the tickets, you donated $20 to help a young lady who's in her 20s fighting cancer, a rare form of cancer. Here it is.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals, or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now, as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there you have it. There are I'm not sure if this is fully updated, but it's pretty close. So just off the top of my head, just looking at this, how many are left? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 19, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 20, about 27, 28 spots roughly. Okay. So that's what you have left. But I know that at the end, like 10 or 15 are already going to be counted for. So you probably literally have about 12 to 13 spots to choose from before, because when they get down to 15 or so, I think there's 2 or 3 people that are going to buy 5 of them. So, kind of leaving guys a chance to go ahead and get their spots. So if you want a possibility of these tickets that will give you 4 front row tickets, you saw the things, the gift certificates, on the field experience, great games, 2 Friday night games. And in August, after the trade deadline, the Giants should be right in the thick of the things. Your opportunity to get some tickets. And again, it's for a great cause. So don't delay. Yeah. Let us know.
Dan, we got a super chat, but before we go to the super chat, NorCal, we are always a classy organization. I do want to say one thing the oldest manager in baseball right now is going to be off the rest of the season. Former Oakland A's,
Ron Washington,
sort of a good guy, Mr. Ron Washington. So, our prayers are with him and his family, and hopefully, he gets better. It's sort of tough where you're in June 500 and all of a sudden your manager's gone the rest of the season. So,
right.
I just want to bring that up.
Look at Bill. Says, take this 20 and buy a square for somebody. I won't go to a game. My best friend of 35 years has liver cancer as well. Wow. Sorry to hear that, Bill.
Hey, Bill, why don't you do this? Why don't you pick a number? And then if he wins, you can decide either you could donate it to somebody or do something. But if you're going to, give us 20 on the super chat, use it for a good cause. You can give it away. And the other thing too about it is last year we had the gentleman from Sacramento, great guy. He only had 3 people, right? But he goes, Lou, I have 4. Do you mind coming with me? So I went out with him. We got to meet. I bought beers. It was a fun time. So, you got to remember, guys, on this thing, hey, some of us are going to be going down to San Diego to see the Padres, right? Then we're going to Del Mar. Dan's actually going to be going to a game with me and Eric when the Cubs are in town. So, we'll try to help you guys out anyway. But, this is $20. It's nothing. It's 2 lattes the way it works these days at Starbucks.
Yeah. So, guys, we do definitely appreciate you doing that. And Bill, thank you for that so much.
Good job, Bill.
Yeah. Kyle says, support a cause. I've done many. And when you go to bed at night, it makes you feel good. Yeah, absolutely. Buy up a $20 square if you can, if you have it and can afford to just donate. And, it's a pretty cool thing. So, all right.
All right. Well, I'm glad you went a little bit earlier. This way it's a Friday night. We can actually enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
8:50.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tomorrow, remember, guys, a day game tomorrow. Hopefully Ray can come through and, we can win the series. Don't have to worry about it until Sunday.
Johnny's in Vegas. All right. Now, tomorrow we'll probably open up the lines, have people join us, and we'll probably come on tomorrow at about 8 o'clock. So make sure you're here. I think the Giants tomorrow. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup.
And Johnny, please be careful with the weather. I hear Chicago is going to be, I think tomorrow it's going to be 90 something. In Arizona, as Dan knows, when the Giants come there, they're expecting 110 to 115 degrees. And then when they go to Phoenix, it's going to be about 105. So Giants, get ready.
Or you mean Sacramento when they go up to
Sacramento? Sorry. Yeah.
Tomorrow's pitching matchup, by the way, for the Giants will be Robbie Ray against we mentioned earlier, Adrian Hauser. And on Sunday, it's Justin Verlander facing the great undecided, nasty stuff undecided has. And and then Logan Webb has a home in Arizona.
Yeah, there's another super chat from Bill.
And he's pitching Monday. Do you go ahead and give Logan Webb a couple days and go home? Wait, here's another. One. You guys pick 2 numbers for me. All right, Bill. Thank you so much. We definitely will do that. Thank you. Appreciate it. And that is very generous of you. So, send Logan Webb home tomorrow after tomorrow's game. And let him spend Sunday night with his wife and child in Arizona at home. I think that'd be good. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.